Earlier this year, as the business started to grow, I realized a couple things. One, I didn't have time to do all the marketing. Two, I needed help with some of the digital marketing aspects that I didn't have as much expertise in, making sure we were well ranked organically in Google, managing the website, upkeeping just the lead management process through our CRM system, and really bringing just kind of the next level of operations to that. So Tim and I kind of found a connection to each other and had some discussion over a period of probably a month and a half, me trying to figure out like, what's the right way to go do this. I went and looked at generic marketing firms, probably interviewed 3 or 4 of them, and then had a conversation with Tim that ultimately led to an engagement together. And one of the main reasons I chose to work with Tim in Right Rudder Marketing was his aviation expertise. As a pilot himself, as a focus on aviation and specifically on flight schools, I knew that I wouldn't have to educate him on my business, on my industry. I knew that he would understand the types of things that will make a flight school pop for students that are looking for training, whether they're going out to Google or other search engines. I knew how he would have the expertise to put together a website based on some of the other customers that he's worked with, to make it laid out well, to make it flow well, to provide the right language, the right types of photography, the word choices, and things that go into that. So ultimately, for the last 4 or 5 months, we've been working together. And one of the goals we have was to drive up leads. And one of the big tests of the reasons that we engaged with Tim was to help us through the winter. Every flight school in the Midwest and northward always struggles with enrollment declining in the winter. People, for some reason, don't necessarily always equate winter with flight training. And helping to grow our both organic and paid advertising to better attract students through all the seasons was something that was really important to us in our working relationship together.
Cool. I want to go through some numbers. So I know you might not have it in the top of your head, but maybe you can talk about, I know it's only been about, I want to say how long have you been doing it? 6 months?
About 6 months now.
6 months or longer, yeah.
Yep.
So usually that's where we see a lot of progress, around that 6-month mark, 5 maybe. Yeah, I would say after 3 months, more so around 6. You start seeing some progress with SEO. We start seeing some progress if you do ads with a lot of leads coming in, because really it takes a while to kind of build this engine, so to speak, of marketing. So can you take us back to, I know when you first started, you were like, what, 1 plane, 2 planes, but when I think you met with me, you were a couple planes already, but you launched your multi-engine ride, and
yep.
Walk us through how your fleet size, your students, enrollment leads, and all that type of stuff.
So we're a school of about 7 aircraft, about 10 instructors, and about 35, 40 students enrolled with us here at Summit Flight Academy right now. In the peak of summer, we were up to closer to 50. And one of the things when I started working with Tim and the team is we were looking at, all right, how well do we rate organically when you look for us? As a younger flight school, Google and the other search engines didn't necessarily rank us particularly well. And Tim and his team were able to come along and put the right search engine optimization in place to make sure that we were ranking well in the top 3, top 4 in a large part of this metro area. So when people are looking for flight training or flight schools or any of those similar type of keywords, we're showing up for them as an option that they can reach out to. And it's really been able to drive up the number of leads that we've seen come through the website, the phone calls and things that we get as well. And we enjoy the data that Tim provides us every month on showing us those leads, understanding our cost per lead, understanding the conversion rate of those leads, and really help us make this business decisions on A, what kind of students do we want to target, B, how successful are we at that, and then C, measuring that against some of our strategic goals as a business of going, how do we want to grow, how do we want to expand, where do we want to spend money that will allow us to serve our customers the best and allow us to grow the business most effectively.
Yeah. Let's talk about those numbers again. So how many leads per month are you getting, and what's your conversion rate?
Our conversion rate's around about 20%.
So what's that mean? So some people don't know what that means.
So that means for every 5 prospects that knock on our door, call, come through our website, one of those 5 ultimately end up enrolling with us here at Summit Flight Academy.
It's extremely high, by the way, just letting you know. So
yeah, and I think, and part of that's we have a pretty high touch model. Students come in and they engage with us. We try to understand their needs. We try to make sure they understand what we offer, what our value proposition is. And that conversion rate, we're very proud of. We put a lot of work and focus into not selling our students, but trying to figure out how do we solve their problems, what are they looking for, and making sure that we're equipped to meet those needs. We're obviously not for everybody. No school, no business is, but for those that are in our kind of target demographic, both personal flight aviation, both the career track students, and also this year our multi-engine students, this is giving us a way to really make sure we're targeting and spending the time nurturing those leads and those prospective students that may come to Summit.
And how many leads are you getting per month, roughly?
Oh gosh.
Like between 50 and 100, right?
Yeah, it varies. In the peak of the summer month, we were 100, 120 leads. Off season, I think it's cutting down to about 60, 70, which is expected. But what will be really interesting, we're going to start trending, kind of looking, year over year. Once we're with Tim and Right Rudder Marketing over the year, be able to kind of trend that over time and understand what do we want to do with the business and how we manage growth. Buying an airplane and committing to all that isn't a cheap endeavor. Between all the costs that go into that as a flight school owner, you well understand that. But this really helps us make a data-driven decision on growth. It's always interesting to look at. There's the marketing data, the leads. There's the bigger economic things that we look at. There's the local competition and factors that go into that. Our ability to scale with infrastructure and things that we have here. So the marketing is just one good, strong piece of that to help us make good decisions.
I think the last, topic I have for you is, can you give a small call to action to any flight school owners that are out there that are kind of on the edge thinking about it? Put yourself in their shoes, where you were at 6-7 months ago.
Yep.
What advice would you give them if they're thinking about working with a marketing agency, and why should they choose Right Rudder Marketing?
Yep. I would always encourage you to do what I did and go out to the market and understand what's out there. Give Tim and Right Rudder Marketing a call and talk to them about your needs, what problems you're trying to solve as a business owner. Tim was very helpful of kind of laying out the playbook of here's all the things that we do. He's very open with what his secret sauce is. You just have to make the decision around, do I want to spend the time doing that, or do I want to pay somebody else to do it for me? And is there an ROI on that? And I think for most small business owners that wear multiple hats, there are certain things that you can insource and take care of, and there's other things that you can't. And we ultimately made the decision that this wasn't something that was strategic for me to spend all my time on. And Tim has been a great asset to the business to do that.
Really appreciate it, man. Thanks, man.
Oh, thanks
Jeremy.
Thanks.
Yeah.